Hello and welcome to the History 1302. My name is Dr. Adrian Ivan and I will be the instructor for this course. Let's go over the syllabus. And to find the syllabus, go under Files and you can locate it there. There's also going to be a link to the syllabus in the welcome message at the very beginning of our Canvas page. But nonetheless, go ahead and print it out and get ready to go over it with me. History 1302, Credit Hours 3, Classroom Canvas, Professor Dr. Adrian Ivan. My office is there along with my office hours, my office telephone number, and my email address. A description of the course. A survey of the social, political, economic, cultural, and intellectual history of the United States from the Civil War and Reconstruction era to the present. And you can go over all the other various elements of the course at your leisure. General education competencies. These are basically just all the core requirements that all the courses you take in a Texas public college or university you'd be going to. We are particularly interested in the critical thinking, communication, and in the social and personal responsibilities. Required resources. It's just one book. America, the Essential Learning Edition by Tyndall and Shai. I have it right here. Wait. Sorry about that. I have it right here. It's the blue book. All right. This is the book we're going to be using. Now, mind you, in the fall, we are going to be changing to the second edition. So if you haven't taken History 1301, this book is still applicable to that course, but it'll only be so until the end of the summer semester. All right. And then after that, this book will be no longer sold by the college bookstore. All right. So just keep that in mind. Nevertheless, let's keep on going. I think the thing you want to know is about the course, how it works. Your final grade will be determined through weekly quizzes, discussions, 4 exams, and participation in online tutoring. Every week, you're going to have 1 or 2 chapters to read. And beginning in the second week of the course, you're going to be having online assignments, which include primary source readings, and review quizzes. I'll make those quizzes available to you on Canvas on Sunday mornings, and they will close the following Saturday night, so Saturday at 11:59 p.m. You can take the assignment at any time between those times, but keep in mind you need to have the assignments done by the deadline. All right. What I don't want you guys to do is go online and basically at 11 o'clock at night on Saturday night start taking these assignments. That's not a very good thing to do. All right. Make sure you give yourself ample amount of time to take these assignments. Basically, what I'll do is, first of all, makeups. Unless you have an extreme emergency, I'm talking about death in the family, serious personal illness, or things of this nature, you will not be able to make up a missed assignment. What I will do at the end of the semester is average out all of your online work. All right. And all of that will count as 25% of your final grade. Nearly every week, we're going to have discussions on the course material. In order to get full participation, you will need to have at least 3 days of 2 substantive posts per week. Okay? So a substantive post is a contribution that goes beyond, oh, I agree or I disagree. Rather, what you need to do is acknowledge the person that you are discussing with, particularly his or her point, and then discuss why or why not you agree with that point. That would be more of a substantive point for a discussion. I basically want to make sure that you understand and have thought of this course's material. There will be 4 major exams throughout the course, and each exam is going to cover a quote-unquote fourth of the course. These aren't evenly distributed in terms of course material. They will consist of multiple choice, short identification significance questions, and 1 long essay. A week before the exam, you're going to have the review, and basically it's going to have 10 terms on it and a selection of essay topics. You get to choose which essay you want to write upon, and then you will write it in Microsoft Word, and you will throw it through a VeriCite application on Canvas. There's going to be a Dropbox waiting there for you to throw it in there. And basically, I'll talk more about VeriCite in just a minute, but basically you'll get a originality report, and we'll talk more about in terms of what the numbers mean. Part of your grade will also be, oh, by the way, each of those exams, each of them, 15% of your grade. Part of your exam, your overall grade is going to be participation in online tutoring. On Canvas, there are going to be drop boxes in which you are going to submit 3 questions over the material that you would like for me to cover in a tutoring video. Maybe there's something you don't understand, it's not clear or whatnot. Go ahead and ask. I will look through them, address the most common questions, and also the ones that I believe are most pertinent to your success. This can only work if you read the textbook, you watch the lecture videos, take notes, and review those lecture notes. The questions will be part of your online work. Basically, I will answer the questions on a YouTube video, and within that video will be basically code words. It's essentially going to be the subjects of the first, the middle, quote unquote, and last questions. Right? Basically, I'm going to have one question quiz on Canvas asking you put these code words in order. It's an easy 100, and so is an easy 100 to submit 3 questions. Nevertheless, that's going to be part of your overall online grade and part of that 25% average. There will be a research paper due at the end of the semester. We'll go over the details later, and it will count for 15% of your grade. Because you have numerous grades for this course, I will neither assign nor accept any extra credit. There's the exam dates for you. They're due basically almost every month. I even have the final exam on the syllabus. I don't anticipate any need to change those dates, so those are pretty set in stone. But nonetheless, you never know. I will alert you guys in terms of whether or not we need to change something. There's the grade breakdown. Somebody told me it equals 100. I hope so. Nevertheless, if you wanted to know exactly how does your grade get calculated, those are the weights. Contacting me and meeting with me, email is the best way. I check my mail multiple times a day. I have a 24-hour policy when it comes to email responding. Excuse me, I need a drink of water. All right. The only time that I can't respond necessarily within 24 hours would be the weekend, but that doesn't mean don't email me. Email me. It's okay. We live in a culture where we need to document everything, and email is the best way to document something to me. So email me over the weekend. I probably will respond, just not as quickly as I would during the week. So I reserve that right. I have a 24-hour policy when it comes to responding to phone calls. Again, call me, leave a message. I get the voicemail on my cell phone, so I can, so I can at least know what's going on, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. The office hours that I have on that first page are the times that I'm guaranteed to be in my office, unless, of course, there's something abnormal going on. You know what happens. Doctor's appointments. I got toddlers, so something can happen. Nevertheless, if everything's going fine, everything reason why it shouldn't, I will be in my office during the times that are posted on the first page. Grade report requests. I appreciate you wanting to know your grade and what you're making at any point in this semester, but I can't really respond to everybody's grade requests because I have hundreds of students, and guess what? If I keep on if I honor every request I get, I'd be doing nothing else. So please refrain from asking me about your grade. It's your responsibility to know your grade. Now, I'll help you calculate it. I can give you the spreadsheet to calculate your final grade. Plug in the grades that you receive throughout the semester and let it do the work for you. However, just to make sure you understand, just the number that you get does not necessarily mean that that's going to be your final grade. For example, in the syllabus, I have a 68, right? If you get a 68, does that mean you're going to get a D? No, not necessarily. I'm going to look at your overall performance. Maybe you bombed the first exam and moved your way up to a 68. If I see that kind of upward progression, I'll definitely bump it up to a C. And whatnot. So I want to see progress throughout the semester. I don't want peaks and valleys of progress, and I definitely don't want a nosedive. Okay, so keep in mind whatever number you get, especially if it's close to the next higher letter grade, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get that lower letter grade. All right. What I won't do, however, is I won't bump you down. You get a 72, you're getting a C. You're not going to get a D. All right, that would be unfair. Plagiarism and cheating. Plagiarism and cheating will not be tolerated in this course. If you're caught cheating or plagiarizing, you will flunk the course, and I will report the incident. If this is not your first reported instance of this, you will or you may be expelled from the college. Plagiarism is defined but not limited to the use of another person's ideas as your own without proper citations. Now, in the course, we're going to be using a couple of tools. Number one, VeriCite. VeriCite basically checks your source material to make sure that you're not copying and pasting off of something without at least giving some sort of proper citation. All right. Now, whenever you do that, all the papers that you write in this course, they're going to be sent through VeriCite. You don't need to do anything other than submit. All right. It's not like you got to go through any sort of special procedure for that. So basically, what'll happen is it'll spit out a report to you in terms of originality. All right. Now, sometimes I get emails from people. Dr. Ivan, I got 10 to 15, I got 15% on original. I'm worried about that. I'm not worried about that. Okay. If you notice in the report, it's going to have a color. 10 to 15, that's really going to be like a green, okay? Green's good, but you're fine. It's when we start getting the numbers that are associated with like yellow, orange, and red, that's when we need to start worrying, okay? So if it's green, I'm not even going to look at the report if it's green, okay? Nevertheless, make sure that you are able to submit your paper through VeriCite. And also make sure it is a Word or a PDF document. Okay, I can't open Word, I can't open Pages, I can't open WordPerfect. It has to be Microsoft Office or PDF. Respond as Lockdown browser. We are going to be using Respond as Lockdown browser, so you will need it on your computer. And on the syllabus, there are instructions how to do it. Okay, now you don't need to worry about Respond as Lockdown browser if you take your exam on a college computer. So if you come onto this campus or any Vernon College campus, they will have Lockdown browser on it. What does it do? Basically, it literally locks down everything. You won't be able to access anything except for your exam. All right, it's just another anti-cheating device. But nevertheless, you have there is a quick start guide link on our syllabus that you can go through. Let's see here. FERPA. Did you know that anything that happens in your course is pretty much protected by federal law in terms of privacy? You've heard of doctor-patient privilege, attorney-client privilege. Well, guess what? You and I have a privilege conversations, right? And basically whatever happens, remember the commercial, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Same thing here. All right, I cannot talk to anybody without your permission about what you're doing in this course, how you're attending, how you're doing. There's no such thing as progress reports to your parents, for example. So you are entitled to privacy, and the federal law protects it. I will not talk to anybody, such as your parents, about your performance in this course. Let's see here. You got here's the contact information for technical assistance, whether it be Canvas, MyVC, your email. So that takes care of all of that. A little bit about me and some final thoughts. Just a little bit about me. My name is Dr. Adrian Ivan, and I'm a full-time instructor at Vernon College. I've been working here since 2010, so this is about 7 years now as recording this video. I have 3 degrees, all in history. My bachelor's is from Texas A&M University, my master's is from Temple University, and my doctorate is from the University of North Texas. I specialize in American Civil War and Reconstruction. I was born and raised in San Antonio, and my wife and I live here in the Wichita Falls area, along with our sons and crazy dog. I would like to talk now about academic success. And when it comes to academic success, intelligence is not what divides the successful from the less successful. All right, it does help, but it doesn't make what makes a good student is mainly time management. Undergraduate students, especially newly admitted freshmen, they have a hard time transitioning between high school and college because they try to treat college like high school. You can't. All right. When I was in high school, an exam covered 1 chapter in a book, and that book was pretty thick, or actually comparatively thin compared to a college textbook, and the type was large, right? So it wasn't really that much reading compared to college. And basically, you would read the night before an exam, and your parents would ask you questions over what you read, and you studied, right? Unfortunately, you can't do that in college. We have multiple chapters for each exam. All right, and each chapter, smaller type, longer chapters, lots and lots and lots of materials, right? So what I suggest you do is you divide your reading, all right? Total up the number of pages that you need to read, and particularly in reading intensive courses. History is a good one, government, English, biology, things of classes like that. I can't help you with math-based stuff, sorry. But nevertheless, look at how many pages you need to read. So let's just total them up. Let's pretend right now every chapter is 30 pages and you have 4 of them applicable to one exam. Well, what do you do? Well, first of all, you figure out how many pages you got. So 30 pages times 4, that's 120. And then what I would suggest you do is the week before the exam, you actually study you study for 6 days. The 6 days before the exam you're studying, because the 7th day is exam day. All right. And so basically take the number of pages that you have. So in our hypothetical situation, 30 times 4, 120, you divide it by 6, and that's 20. So what would you rather do? Would you rather read 20 pages a day or 120 pages in one sitting? I think you know the answer to that. It's kind of like just trying to eat an elephant by sticking the entire thing in your mouth. You're not going to be able to do it. The only way you eat the elephant is by just eating it one bite at a time. So 20 pages every time. It eventually will add up. And that way you can go and you can have fun. Remember, this is college. This is supposed to be the most fun time of your life, right? What do they jokingly say? The most fun 7 years of your life, right? Well, only 4, please. 5, if need be. But nevertheless, you need to have fun. This is a special time in your life. So try to work smarter. In terms of managing your time better, and you'll see that most likely your grades will be better. All right. Also, when it comes to studying for your exam, you shouldn't be exposing yourself to the material for the very first time. It's at least the second, and honestly, that's that's not enough. Here's how many times you should be studying, or how many times you should at least be exposed to the material. Well, first, read before class. I know it's blasphemy and heresy to say it. Burn Dr. Ivan at the stake. I get it, but nevertheless, read before class. That's 1. Then attend class. There's 2. Then review your notes. There's 3. Then, of course, you could then study for the exam on the exam week. That's 4, right? Now, if you were, particularly if you're in my lecture class, you can actually watch these online videos, and that can be a 5th time as well. So, nevertheless, make sure that you expose yourself to the material multiple times, because eventually it's going to stick, and heck, you might even like it. Success in your course is kind of like winning a championship in sports. Now, I'm recording this in January of 2018. And not too long ago, the University of Alabama won the national championship in football, right? Nobody on earth knew that Alabama was going to do it at the beginning of the season. Nobody knew. I don't care if you're the biggest Alabama fan, you didn't even know. And in fact, after that Iron Bowl, you probably were worried about it. Nevertheless, I guarantee you, though, within the first couple of weeks of the season, we would know whether or not Alabama had a shot to do it, right? Well, classes are like this. Nobody knows what you're going to get. I don't know what you're going to get. What I do know, however, is within the first few weeks, I'm going to know who has lost their opportunity to get an A. So make sure you hit the ground running. Here's some examples that you can apply not just to this class, but to all classes. For example, use a 2-spiral notebook approach. Label one class. You can be as messy as you want. Because after all, you're going to be reading it, right? So be as messy as you want when it comes to your notes. And then take out a second spiral, label it home, and nicely and neatly rewrite your notes. Now, if you're above 21, a single reasonable alcoholic beverage, perfectly fine. All right, so go ahead and do it. Now, if you're under 21, I suggest a single, reasonably sized caffeinated soda. Don't start drinking 3-liter sodas while studying. All right, that's just not a good idea. Nevertheless, rewrite your notes, and this does a couple things. First of all, it exposes you to the material a second time. So if you read before watching the videos or going to class, watch the video / attending class. Now you are rewriting your notes. That's number 3. And then, of course, number 4 would be studying, right, for the exam. So this is a way in order to have stuff stick in your mind. It lets you know what questions you have. Can you name a better way to develop 3 questions per week for our tutoring videos? I can't, outside of reading the book and watching the videos, right? So make sure, that's another way to do it. And it also makes you feel more confident, because knowledge breeds confidence. We are more fearful of what we don't know rather than what we do know, all right? So the more you know, the more confident you're going to be, and the more confident you feel, the better you can perform in this course. My final tip is simple. Use all the means you have available. The college is here for one thing, you. Right? Everybody from the most junior staff member to the president of the college is here for your betterment. You have so many resources at your disposal. The most important which is me, right? I'm supposed to be the one that knows the material, that knows where you're going to be going. So please contact me, email me, smoke signal. I don't care. Telegraph, Pony Express. Just get in contact with me at any time you need to. I'm here to ensure you have ample opportunities to succeed. If you think your tuition is basically just allows you to attend class, think again. Imagine your tuition as a phone bill, like a bundle from Time Warner Cable or Spectrum or whoever, right? Basically, if you're just attending class, you're paying for all three services, but you're watching just TV, okay? Vernon College, we have numerous resources. We have a Pass Center, a place for you to get free tutoring, not just in science and government, but in history too, but so multiple disciplines. Go to the library to study. Librarians are great when it comes to locating resources for research projects, right? They're not just going to go find a book for you. They can actually even find online resources nowadays. So take advantage of all the money, all that your money enables you to use. After all, you're paying for it even if you don't use it. Always remember how your college professor, including myself, we're not the boogeyman. We're not enemies, nor do we want you to fail. I remember when I was going through high school, I got, the teachers, they put the fear of professors in us, right? Saying that we relish failing students, and then it serves as a way to weed out the weak ones, right? This couldn't be further from the truth. We want you to succeed. I promise we would do anything in our power to ensure your success. If you need my help, all you need to do is ask. The only thing I can't do for you is take your exams and your quizzes and write your papers, okay? When you want my help, just ask. But do some things before you ask for help, and they might actually solve problems before they even become problems. For example, attend class. Sleeping in class, not attending. Surfing the internet, looking at Facebook, texting friends while in the class, not going to fly when it comes to attending class, all right? So when it comes to attending class, make sure you're attentive. Take notes, ask questions, all right? If you attend class, you're paying attention, and you're taking your notes, you're going to solve a lot of problems before they even begin, right? Second is to read the book before and after class. I know, heresy, blasphemy, burn me at the stake, right? But believe me, it works. I had a professor when I was an undergrad when he was very monotone and he was very, very quiet. He actually even had a microphone which barely did anything when it came to his volume. Oh, and so, I was thinking about dropping the course. But you know what I did? I actually read before class, and suddenly it's not like he became less monotonous and louder. He became more understandable. When he became more understandable, I could follow the course a lot better. So that's another thing you should be doing in all of your courses. Know where you're struggling. Don't come to a professor and say, I need help with everything. That's just asking for a lot of things. For example, my office is across the hall from 2 licensed psychologists. I don't think you want me sending them over there for help with everything, right? So anyway, so the first question I'm going to ask you then is, where are your lecture notes? Let me see them. If you don't have good notes, it's harder for me to help you, right? If you do these things, you will have less problems, and I can help you out to a greater extent. Finally, for those of you that are bad at history, just don't like it, I can relate. There are things that I don't enjoy reading about that simply don't interest me. How do you get through it? Read the material for what it is, a story. Think of your favorite novel or movie. Are there tedious parts despite the overall work being good? Right? That's how history is. It's got peaks and valleys of interest for everybody. Read the material for the course for what it is. It's a story that helps us define what we mean when we say American. My definition is not necessarily going to be your definition, and I don't want it to be. Okay, I want your own definition. I want you to have your own definition, but I also want it to be informed. That's my job. I'm going to inform you and tell you exactly how you should approach creating your own definition. All right? So when you place those readings within that context, it should help you become more engaged with the material. There's our course schedule. It's pretty straightforward when it comes to reading. Some weeks we just have a whole bunch. We just have reading and no assignments. So I try to equitably distribute the reading schedule in order so that you don't have one exam and you're reading one exam period and you're reading 2 chapters, and the next exam period you're reading 7. That's just insane. It's college, I understand. Is it possible? Yes, but is it fair? Is it practical? No, from a learning standpoint. So we are just going to go slow and steady through the book rather than race through some parts and not through other parts. The last page. We'll go over more in the second introductory video, but the last page right here. You don't need to send it to me in terms of a physical copy. Don't fill it out and send it to me. Rather, there is a drop box on Canvas that you are able to just input your information and then press submit. It's an easy 100. The next video we are going to be talking about how the course works, and so I'm going to go ahead and conclude this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Feel free to email me, and I hope you have a great day. See you in just a bit. Bye-bye.